Hello everybody, I'm Twan. Welcome to Redesign My Life. And today we're just going to be kind of riffing a little bit. It's just going to be some random things because today's just one of those bum days where I have a hard time getting motivated and doing action behind the things that's going on in my head. So what's going on is, you have these ideas. So I have these ideas. And you run it through your head over and over and over, and these ideas and concepts is just it gets to the point where it's like a dog chasing his tail. At first it's fun, you're running around, it's pretty fun, but after a while it gets kind of like repeating itself too much, and eventually you get bored. And sometimes with your ideas and stuff that you have in your head, you either end up forgetting about it or you just throw it in the back burner, and there's no implementation going on behind it. So right now, I'm just gonna force myself to be behind this desk and just talk about whatever comes to mind, and I'm just gonna go ahead and write down these ideas and concepts that I have. And eventually, when you start writing it all down, you start seeing more structure to it. You start seeing things come together, So one of the topics is I had in my head was right now what's going on is it's been like that for the past probably maybe 10 years, but a lot of people still don't know about it or just never took action doing it. But a lot of people nowadays, you hear about how Warren Buffett and Bill Gates and all these other famous millionaires and entrepreneurs or whatever, they read a lot of books. And the thing is, so I just want to have a topic about that, where reading books, nowadays, a lot of people don't have time for it, but the latest thing or the best thing nowadays for busy people or just people who just don't want to take the time to read is it's just to listen to podcasts and listen to YouTube. You don't even have to sit there and watch YouTube. You can just plug in and listen to it because there's a lot of great information out there. So I'm gonna be creating a topic off of that. And another topic is I was actually watching this video on YouTube, and the guy, he was actually picking up girls, and of course in the video he showed all the success parts, but the thing is, he created a behind the scenes video as well to show you that most people, we fantasize about all the success, and unfortunately in real life it's not like that. So all the editing and stuff like that, all the failures, he didn't really put it in there. So he did one full video of straight up 30 minutes of going through trying to talk to girls or and getting rejected, and he showed you the true process of it, and he showed you how many times you're going to end up getting rejected through a course of 30 minutes, and he's showing you the true the true glimpse of reality of how it really is, instead of just seeing everything edited and everything's finished and done in production, everything's cut off. So it was really a good video to see. So I want to create a topic on that too. So for me, honestly, it's really great to see people put out videos that are more realistic and show you the true process of what it takes to either get rejected. And getting rejected deals with every single aspect of your life, whether it's making friends, trying to get a job, getting into relationships, and the rejection also goes through with sports, because a lot of times your shot gets rejected, your swings get rejected, there's with failure and rejection, it intertwines with every single aspect of your life. So I thought it was a really great video to show you what it was all about. And even though it was really hard for me to go ahead and say, hey, let me turn on my microphone, let me turn on this camera, let me turn on the laptop, let me start typing in my ideas and concepts and things like that. I have some of these concepts in my phone, but now it's trying to put it on the laptop, which so you can get more so you can really have the topic put out, so you can really expand your topic and create structure behind it, and create real content, so you can actually shoot a video about it, so you can do podcast about it and things like that. But yeah, some of this process, it gets kind of boring, but the thing is, it's exciting at the same time, knowing that you're churning out your processes in your mind from repeating it over and over in your head, and finally putting it out to something to where you can see some substance. Otherwise, if you just run it through your head all the time, it's never gonna come to fruition, and I've met some people who have ideas and things like that in their head, and it just stays in there, and it just ends up there's nothing being put out in the real world. And that's what I'm trying to do, is taking all this ideas in my head and just putting it on the laptop first, and then after that, when it comes on the laptop, and then I start creating things behind it, and then after that I start getting ready to practice it, and then start getting ready to shoot videos. And it's a long process. A lot of people don't understand how long the process takes. They think, you see a 15-minute video, it should take no more than an hour. But nope. Just for you to create the content, I honestly think, unless you're really talented and that skilled, and just rambling on for like 15-20 minutes and have structure behind it and have things that flow and make sense, honestly, I feel like everybody thinks that it takes about an hour, maybe 2 hours, but no. For me to write down the process, for me to have a full 10 to 15 minute video, I think it probably takes me about maybe 1 to 2 hours to write it out, and then after that probably a few hours to practice it or create a PowerPoint for it, so I can know exactly all my highlights and my key points, so I can talk about it. And then after that, practice it, and then of course it's go time. And when it's go time, it's still practice, because honestly, I'm not comfortable being in front of the camera, so I practice it over and over in front of the camera as well. So honestly, practice before the camera, and then practice during the camera, and then after that, near the end, you start being more comfortable being in front of the camera, or you start being more fluid with the topic you're talking about, and then it starts becoming something, and then starts coming out. And it doesn't have to be perfect. Never has to be perfect. If you have that thing in your mind where it's like, it has to be great, lighting has to be great, sounding has to be great, the flow has to be great, everything has to be perfect, then you're never gonna move forward with the next process. And so every time I put out a video, it's not perfect. As a person doing my own content, as a person doing my own stuff, I know that it's not perfect, but every time I finish it, every time I do the editing, every time I put in sound, every time I do whatever in production, and when I finish it and I upload it to YouTube or whatever I do with it, I know that it's one step forward. It's another progression for me. So it's no big deal to me, because honestly, I can always redo the video. I can always do another one, just whatever. It can always improve. And it's never, the product is never final, because you can always do version 5, version 20, version 50, whatever version you have, because you're always going to get better through the process. And that's what I'm doing right now, is you get to see the process with the laptops on, with my ideas coming from my head, and I'm just riffing. I really don't have a true structure behind what I'm talking about, other than just practicing it in my head or whatever, and kind of talking about, okay, I just saw the video and it shows all the rejections and fails and things like that, and the process behind the success part that everybody sees in videos, or the finished product. So this is what's going on from my head to the laptop. After that, I put it on my laptop, and then create a PowerPoint off of it. And then from the PowerPoint, I practice the PowerPoints to make sure it flows the right way, to make sure it sounds the right way that I want. And then if it's not flowing the right way, guess what? I'm gonna edit the PowerPoint some more, move things around, delete some things, get rid of whatever, you know. And then of course it gets to the part where I practice, and then some more, and then throw it on the video and record over and over and over until I feel like I flowed well enough at this point in my at my skill level, you know, because even though I'm trying to reach up here, you know, my skill level might be down here, but I accept this level right here because that's where I'm at right now in the whole process, you know. So that's where I'm at. So that was my little rant for the moment. It was just to get me juiced up and to get me motivated, because honestly, look at me, I'm looking like a bum, I'm feeling like a bum. I really didn't want to, you know, put out any content, but the thing is, you know, just for me to do this got me, you know, one step forward in just putting forth action behind it. Putting forth action behind it, because when things are moving forward, when you do something, even though it's not that great, you know, it's still good for you. It's still, you know, one step forward. It's still practice. It's still getting ahead compared to ground zero right here, because doing one step is doing one step is 1,000 times better than doing 0 steps, and that's what I'm doing right here. So I hope you kind of enjoyed the video. I'm not really good at riffing, but who cares? You know, it was just whatever is in my head, and I just put it out in the video, and I'm just gonna edit it and make it, you know, and hopefully it sounds like something, sounds like some kind of content that people could use out of this. So, but until next time, you know, thanks for watching Redesign My Life, and you know, continue as your journey as I'm trying to continue mine. Thanks.